future? How is this country going to go on? Where are we going to get the young men from to defend us 10, 15, 20 years from now, when China has 1 billion of them? A population of 1 billion to draw from in producing young men willing to kill. They have an excess, I think, of males in the hundreds of millions. Where do you think they're going to send them? Where do you think this excess of young males are going to be sent by China? You think they're all going to stay in China? Where do you think this excess of males are going to go? All this extra testosterone. My friends, we're entering a very dangerous time. Some ways I am very glad that my children are adults. In some ways I almost thank God I don't have grandchildren. I know that's a terrible thing to say. Isn't that a terrible thing to say? I love children. In fact, I find myself, I know this sounds, weird, I don't care what you think it is. I love to watch young children play with their mothers. There's a certain place they hang out. I love to bicycle by and hear their sounds. I'm a former teacher. I love the sounds of children. In fact, I had a dream the other night that I was teaching again. I miss children, the children's voices and the cheerfulness of it. But I almost thank God I don't have any grandchildren. I don't know that I'd want to see them into the next 20 years of what's coming with this corruption in this country and the growing terror of the Islamist world. You don't hear any of this, do you? Am I the only one who fears these things and sees these things? You think I'm crazy? You think because you don't hear it from the puppets in the media, it's not going on in this country, these thoughts? You're mistaken, my friend. Thinking men who know reality, men who've been punched in the nose and have punched noses, know what I'm talking about. The others don't. In fact, I was thinking about that the other night. I'm no physical guy, but I've been punched in the nose, and I've punched a nose now and again when I was a kid. We don't do those things when we grow up. But sometimes it takes getting whacked real hard in the nose when you're a kid and to see stars, and to be knocked down a flight of stairs in a public school to know what kind of world you're really living in. When you fall down a flight of stairs in a public school, and the steps are hard and made of concrete, and everyone watches you fall down the steps and no one lifts a finger, and you got to get up and look at the kid who knocked you down the steps and standing up there like a bully glowering at you, and you got to decide in that moment whether to run up the steps or run out the door. You'll know what I'm talking about. Right now America is ready to run out of every door in this country. I'll be right back. Savage here, pundit-in-chief of the Savage Nation. Bigger than ever, stronger than ever, more stations than ever, bigger listenership than ever, bigger ratings than ever. Beat ABC in New York on WOR. Check out the actual data as opposed to the lies of the lawyer on that station. Beat my competition here in San Francisco. Why is this happening? You think I'm wrong all of the time, you liberals? I'm right most of the time. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, I haven't been wrong too much lately. But it's not about whether I'm right or wrong. It's really not about me. It's about borders, language, culture. Now, during last night's charade, did you hear much about borders? I didn't. Did you hear any questions about English only? Did you hear anything about culture? Nothing. So therefore, it's all nonsense. I define a nation as defined by borders, language, and culture. Go around the world, see if people agree or disagree with me. You go in any country and ask them how they would define their country, or most people are too stupid to understand an answer to that, but you give them a question. Would you define your nation by borders, language, and culture? The answer would be, of course. You can't define it any other way. BLC, borders, language, culture. How many times have you heard borders, language, and culture discussed in these so-called debates? I haven't. Once in a while, a little bit leaks in. But not sufficient to define this nation as a nation anymore.